Welcome back. Do you know what this is? Or this? Or this? And this? Well, if you haven't seen these, in this video I'm going to teach you about the graphs of functions. If you like my videos, please click subscribe under my channel to get the latest notifications. I'm teacher László, and this video is about the graphs of functions. First of all, I would like to tell you that in this video I will talk about 4 functions: the linear function, the quadratic function, the cubic function, and the reciprocal function. And I will explain only about the main concepts of these on the graph. The first function is the linear function. Very easy to remember. Linear, line. This function has a picture of a straight line on the graph. The standard form for the linear equations is y equals to mx plus c, where m stands for the gradient of this line and c stands for the y-intercept of the line. If you haven't seen my gradient video, please click on the card above. So, the picture of this function is a straight line on the graph. The line might have a positive or negative gradient. You can read this from the m value of the function. If the m is positive, your line is rising to the right. If your m value is negative, your line is falling to the right. The c value will tell you what point does the line intercept the y-axis. The quadratic function has a standard form of y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c. In this whole quadratic formula, you will always find a squared x part. That's why it's quadratic. And all the other parts might show up in your actual quadratic function, or not. Sometimes you're missing the bx part, for example. The picture of the quadratic formula is this strange shape called a parabola. The way the parabola is standing depends on the a value of the function. If a is greater than 0, your parabola is standing upright. If the a value is less than 0, so it's negative, your parabola is standing upside down. You can see that the c value, similarly to the linear function, is also explaining the y-intercept point of this parabola. The cubic function's standard form is y equals to ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. You can see that in this we have a squared and a cubed x value. That's why it is cubic. The picture of this is a curve. The direction of your curve, rising or falling, depends again on the a value. If a is greater than 0, your curve is rising to the right. And if your a value is less than 0, your curve is falling to the right. Likewise, the previous 2 functions, the linear and the quadratic function, in this function we have a d value stating the y-intercept point of the curve. The reciprocal functions formula is y equals to a over x. In this case, we will get the picture of this on the graph. This is called the hyperbola. The hyperbola will not intercept the x or y axis. And as you can see, it will be placed, or it's positioned, in two opposite quadrants of your graph. But which quadrant? Well, your a value will tell you this again. If a is greater than 0, these are the first and the third quadrant. And if a is less than 0, then your hyperbola is in the second and in the fourth quadrants. Well, it's really good to know these basic facts about these functions, but how can I draw one? There are steps to follow. Remember, first step, you must draw a table. In the table, you can give any x values. After your chosen x values, you have to replace these x values in your function and solve it as an equation to y. And you got your x and y values already. After this, you have to choose a suitable scale for your graph. And you draw a graph with this scale. After this, you have your graph, you got your points. All you need to do is plot the points on your graph, connect the points with the right lines, and here you are. You got the graph of your function. Well, that's all you need to know. Don't forget to use the graph paper if you would like to draw the graph. And thanks for watching the video. Subscribe to my channel and see you again next time.